Well, we have a few, obviously, it's match day -2, so we have to modify a few players. We have another training session tomorrow, so we'll see how everybody's for Sunday.
How would you rate his chances?
Sorry?
How would you rate his chances?
See, we don't see tomorrow's training session, very difficult to say something.
And Calafiori?
The same.
The same. Is this slightly longer term, would you say?
Depends how they evolve in the next few days.
Okay. Corners, you've been labelled the corner kings after your efforts this season. What do you make of that and how it's been taken?
Well, we want to be the kings of everything. On set pieces, the best in the world. High press, the best in the world. Attacking open spaces, the best in the world. Best atmosphere in the stadium, in the best. The best at everything. Before it was about we didn't score enough. We were soft defending. We didn't have mentality. We weren't physical enough. We could not challenge the top teams. 22 years, 17 years, 20 years without winning away from home in big matches. We want to be the best at everything. We want to have the best academy, the best individual development for players, the best of the best. Recruit the best players, best coaches. That's the aim.
Just the kings then?
That's the objective. If not, we have to go and do something else.
A lot of people have been impressed with Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka's delivery as well. How hard a skill is that, and how hard do they work on it?
Well, they work like with any other kind of finishing, constantly. We want to be a threat from everything that we do, and we have to take every opportunity to make it count and be a threat.
Because Rice didn't originally take corners; that came about in your trip to UAE or Dubai in the winter. Can you tell us how that came about and whose idea it was?
Adapt the players' qualities to the team needs and how we can exploit the qualities that we have within the squad in the best possible way. It's all about the players. Every tactic, every decision, every position in the pitch is towards that.
And you've been compared, tongue-in-cheek, to Stoke. Are you planning any long throw plans?
I understood very well what Berbatov said. It was in the best possible way, so we'll take it as a big compliment.
A compliment?
100%, yeah.
Because they were so good at it?
Sorry?
Because Stoke were so good at those set pieces?
I think so, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just on Martin Ødegaard, he'll make, if he plays, his 100th
Great.
captain. How important and integral a player has he become?
A massive player that he showed again on big matches what he can deliver, what the spirit that he brings to the team, the quality he has to play in the way that we have to play. So really happy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seb from the Premier League.
Hi, Mikel. Were you watching the Fulham game last night?
Yeah, sure.
What did you make of it? Is it going to be a big challenge?
Yeah, a big challenge. Obviously, we experienced last year. We lost 5 points against them. I was being very complimentary about them, about the coach and what they do. So yeah, it's always a really tough place to go.
And of course, they have a lot of former Arsenal players in their ranks, and one.
I'm doing very well as well, which I'm very happy for them. So Reece is still one of our own, but the rest as well, and it will be great to see them.
Have you been keeping in touch with Smith Rowe and what he's been doing?
Once they leave, you have to leave them to do their own thing. Obviously, once in a while we speak to them, but yeah, very grateful for what they did for us, and wish them the best for now.
And just to finish, last season when you lost against Fulham at Craven Cottage, you were in a difficult spell. You were probably quite tired, and then you went to Dubai. Do you feel like you've done things differently this season to avoid repeating that spell?
Well, it's a little bit different, the period that we are in and where we're coming from. But, it's the demands of this league. Every game is so difficult. At that time as well, we lost a few games. So it was even harder. So things to do much better than we did last year, that's for sure.
Thanks, Alex from BBC.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just on one of the players that scored from one of the set pieces in the game last week, Jurriën Timber. He's obviously come in and played a number of positions, slotted in for Ben White, who had such an important role in the team. Just what have you made of how he's progressed this season? Of course, he got his first goal as well. Yeah,
really impressive. Obviously, he's coming from a long-term injury after his ACL. We knew the talent, the leadership, the skill that he has. So he's been in great form, and he gives us something very, very different to any other fullback that we have in the team, and his impact has been tremendous, I think.
You obviously have an incredible record from set pieces. There's 22 goals from corners since the start of last season. It's clearly getting under the skin of opposition teams. You even had Gary Neville call Nicholas Jover the most annoying man in football. But what have you made of the attention on your coaching staff?
Well, that is great. Obviously, that when we are very good at a lot of things, we take it as a compliment and just as a fuel to be better, because we are not perfect at all, even in that department or defending set pieces. We conceded 3 chances. The 3 of them were coming from that kind of situation. So there is a lot to improve, and the margins are always there for us to explore and try to get better.
Simon?
Mikel, can I just ask, in football in the past, we've had sort of instances where the perception around things has changed. You think of Wenger with nutrition, Pep playing out from the back. Do you think what we're experiencing now with set pieces, we're sort of seeing a change in how people viewed them? In 5-10 years, people might talk very differently about set pieces?
No, I think it's something that changed 10, 11 years ago, I would say. Not only what is related to set pieces, but all the restarts of play. I remember a lot of big teams that have won a lot of games, a lot of important games, a lot of last-minute games in these kind of scenarios. You look at the Champions League, all the data is there. It hasn't changed that much. The importance of that, because of the margins are smaller and smaller, because the competition is harder. Probably people put more attention into that, but you have to dominate everything.
Can I ask you one about your backroom staff? We've heard that there's sort of talks to tie them down to new contracts. How important is that? And when you obviously signed your new deal, how important was it for you that they also stayed with you as part of it?
Yeah, we all try to do it at the same time. It's difficult because it's always 4 or 5 people that have to commit at the same time. It's not easy to do it, but I'm so happy with them. I value them at the highest level, and we all want to continue together, so hopefully it will be resolved very soon.
Jordan, Athletic.
Mikel, you mentioned that 10, 11 years ago, set-piece coaches became a thing just as you were finishing as a player. I just wondered, when did you realise yourself that it was undervalued in football, and how did you come to value a set-piece coach so much?
Probably when I was a player, because I understood. I was at Everton. I understood how important they were, how difficult it was for the position as well. And then when I came here as well, and we had a period that in some big matches as well we suffered, and then we were out. And then I went to City, and I immediately realized that we had to do something about it, and continue to do that.
I think you were quite instrumental in bringing Nico to City before Arsenal. Just tell us about how the 2 of you were introduced.
No, I started to do a lot of digging, but in relation to that, in relation to individual development, I think it's an area as well that it was not explored enough. In my opinion, another evolutions that, in my opinion, the game was going to have, and try to be always ahead when we can to try to maximize those opportunities.
Kaya, Football London.
Hi, Mikel. Obviously, the reunion with Bill this weekend. I just wondered, in that period where Martin was out and you maybe were missing a little bit of the creative player, was any part of you thinking, I wish we still had Emil in the squad?
Yeah, it was a very tough decision, obviously, to let Emil go, especially because personally I feel really grateful what he did for the club and for me in a period of time that I think he was instrumental to change something around it. But at the end, players have to play. He had a lot of difficult moments as well, a lot of struggles with injuries when we were together, and he needed a fresh start. It's normal, we understood that, and we allowed him to go.
With that sort of depth behind Martin in those creative positions, I know you had to tweak the way you set up once Martin was out for a while, and Ethan is maybe the obvious backup. He's 17 and thrown into big Premier League games, feels like a bit of a risk. Is there any sort of regrets or sort of apprehension about that area of the squad, or maybe you wish you had a bit more depth?
No, we allowed Fabio to go as well because we wanted to create the room and the space for Ethan, and he has given us every reason to trust him. He's shown that he's ready to make the next step, and it's great to have him.
Okay, last couple in the live section. We'll go to Norway Media first.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
A couple of questions about Martin, if you don't mind. He did an interview on last week with Sky, and he was asked about his reputation as a gentleman within the sport. And you obviously have a long life in football. Have you ever met someone with that combination of performance on the pitch and characteristics on the pitch and personality of it?
I don't know. Everybody is unique. Martin is unique. As you said, his character, his personality, the way he's been raised, educated, is at the highest level. And yeah, it's everything that we want to have to represent our club and the team in the best possible way.
And you obviously have been talking a lot about the upturn in form after he came back from injury just now. But is there anything specific with his play that you are working on that you tell Martin this you have to improve?
Well, there are a few targets at the start of the season, obviously not to share here, but all the players have that, and he's in the right direction, yeah.
Okay, and we'll go to Phil from PA.
Hi, Mikel. Just going back to the set pieces, do you feel like a bit of a sort of modern day trailblazer in the sense you're putting so much emphasis on it?
What's trailblazer?
Trailblazer leader in the field. Trailblazer leader in the field.
No, at all. No, I think they've been some exceptional teams on that. You just want to get better, and whatever we do, I repeat myself, is not good enough. We can still improve a lot in that sense. But last year we were the team in the history of this club that scored the most goals. We want more. We have more margin. We can do things better. With the defense, exactly the same thing. Environment, the same thing. Everything, we're going to try to improve it, for sure.
Just given the success you've had with it, are you expecting your rivals to put a bit more emphasis?
The success at the end is if we win what we want to win. That's the success. If that allows you to win a game, great. Another game, great. But it's a lot of element. I mean, to do what we did against Manchester United, to limit them to what they did, big credit to the team. It never happened in the history of Manchester United. So I have to put a lot of emphasis in what a lot of players did to that.